Should you start a YouTube channel in 2020? If you've been thinking about starting a new YouTube channel, perhaps you want to start a second channel, or maybe been putting it off for quite a while, and you've been thinking about maybe I'll start a new YouTube channel in 2020, this video is for you. So on this live stream, I'm going to be talking about the pros and cons of starting a YouTube channel, and also look at the steps you need to take to grow one to be a successful channel on YouTube. So you don't want to waste a lot of time. If you're starting a YouTube channel, there's a lot of things you need to know, and there's a lot of fears. But I want to kind of go through some of the things that probably I didn't know when I started. I started in 2006, but I didn't really know what I was doing at that time. And so I've learned a lot of things along the way, but I want to go through some of the basic steps of starting a YouTube channel. So just in case you want to start one this year or in 2020 or beyond. My name's Herman Drost, and my channel is all about how to grow your audience on YouTube so you can generate traffic, leads, and sales on autopilot 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, year after year. And that's the beauty of YouTube. You can have one video that ranks in the search engines, and it can be working for you, generating traffic, generating leads, generating affiliate sales day after day, year after year, whether you're on vacation, at a conference, you're sick or whatever. So that's a big difference between all the other social media sites. YouTube is a big search engine, so people are looking for solutions to their problems. So in this live stream, or if you're watching the replay, I'm going to be looking at some of the pros and cons, and then also what's needed to grow a successful YouTube channel. But the question is it worth it to start a YouTube channel in 2020? So I asked this in my Facebook group, and some of the answers that came back, some of the replies were, I don't have time, it's too difficult, it's too much technical stuff to figure out, I fear being on camera, I don't have the budget to buy a camera, and it's too competitive. So put the answer in the chat, or if you're watching the replay, put in the comments. For you veterans out there, what was your biggest challenge when you started on YouTube? And for newbies who maybe don't have a channel or just start a YouTube channel, what's your greatest fear of starting a new channel? Or if you just begun a new YouTube channel, then what is your greatest fear? I know when I first started my YouTube channel, I didn't really think about the fear, I just kind of did it. But I think one of the biggest, hesitant, or why I was hesitant was, what am I going to say? Are people going to like the content? And how can I appear on camera in a natural way, without just reading from a script? So in my first few videos, I wrote the whole thing out. Every single word I would write on a sheet of paper, and then I think the first couple of videos I just read straight from the script. And so just kind of looking like if I had a piece of paper in front of me, I'd be kind of reading it, then I'd look up. So say like you're delivering a speech and you have your notes in front of you, you have your piece of paper, and then you're kind of looking up. It's like that. So very obvious that I was reading from the script, not so natural, not so relaxed. But, with practice, I found that I could memorize one line, 2 or 3 lines, and then just focus on the message instead of thinking how I sounded or how I look, etc. And that way I could overcome my fears and the butterflies that you get, when you go on camera. So Harley saying, my biggest challenge was feeling comfortable on camera. Yeah, I think that the funny thing is, even when you listen to like a voicemail or play a video back on your camera on your phone, the voice doesn't sound like, you don't really hear your own voice. So I think, oh, is that what people are listening to? Or you see all the very small things that you might notice but nobody else notices. But I think, getting comfortable on camera, that's a big thing. I think, as you practice more and more, then you get more comfortable. And as you get more comfortable, then I think it also helps with, like, if you're doing a speaking engagement or go to, want to speak in front of a crowd, like doing live stream. I think it took like 3 months for me to overcome the fear of going live. And then when I did it, I realized, hey, what's the big deal? It was all in my mind. So those things, kind of creep up. So let's look at some of the things that why you should be on YouTube. So I just took some of these YouTube usage stats, and this is probably one reason you might think that YouTube is too competitive, but even if you're in the same niche, and I'm in the sort of a YouTube help niche, and there's like a huge competition. You go to research keywords, like 50 million videos that come up in the search for that particular keyword phrase. So like how to get more views on YouTube or something like that. So, but here are some YouTube usage stats that show you that there's plenty of fish in the sea. And after Google, which is the number one search engine, YouTube is the second largest search engine in the world. And YouTubers upload 400 hours of video every single minute. Total number of YouTube users exceeds 1.3 billion. YouTube receives more than 30 million visitors each day. 80% of YouTube users live outside the US. And time people spend watching YouTube is up 60% each year. And 70% of YouTube video views take place on mobile devices. So you definitely want to make sure your thumbnail, your title, your video looks good on the mobile device. And there's more than 1 billion mobile video views each day. So those are amazing statistics. So the question is, maybe you've decided you want to start a new YouTube channel in 2020. So what is needed to start a YouTube channel? So I'm just going to go through some of these basic steps to show you the requirements, what is needed to start a YouTube channel. So I would say, before you start, you have to think of the niche, and you want a focused niche. So that's why I put a photo of this yoga teacher here. So maybe you want to teach yoga. Could be yoga for teenagers, yoga for people over 50, yoga for pregnant mothers, etc. So instead of just yoga as a, very wide niche, you don't want to go too broad, because if you go too broad, you try to appeal to everybody, but then you don't appeal to a focused niche. So if you go into the yoga niche, try to niche it down, and then you're gonna, later on when you do your keyword research, it'll be easier to rank your videos and make them searchable on YouTube and Google. So you definitely want to create, have a focused niche, and when you do that, it's going to be easier to grow your channel. So I think along with that, you also want to think about what problems do people have in that niche. It could be you go to Facebook groups, you could go to forums, You could go to just do searches in Google or use answerthepublic.com, which you can just put your question in there, and you get a whole bunch of questions that people ask in that niche. So you want to identify your target audience. So when it comes to identify a target audience, then think about the person that you want to address your problems to. So maybe they have a problem that if it's for yoga, maybe the person has never done yoga before. So one of your videos could be how to do morning yoga in 5 minutes a day, something like that. So think about the focus niche, think about your target audience, and then you also want to think about your value proposition. Like what is it that you could put in your channel banner that summarizes the content of your channel? So it could be something like yoga for pregnant mothers, something like that. And then you want to come up with a good channel name. So it could be your personal name, or it could be yoga for teenagers as a channel name. And I think looking back on like when I started my channel, you want to think about a channel name. And if you're going to use other social media sites, you might want to think of something, a unique name that could be branded across all your social media sites. So it could be on Instagram, YouTube, Pinterest, LinkedIn, etc. So you could have the same name across all your social media sites. So that would help with your branding. That will help with people to recognize what you're all about. And if you have a unique value proposition, then you meet someone at a conference or meet some of your family members, they ask you what you do, and you can quickly tell them in a couple of sentences what your channel's all about. So think about your value proposition, focus niche, your target audience, your channel name, and I think you can change your. Oh no, I think you need 100 subscribers to have a custom URL for your channel. So when you're starting off, you won't have 100 subscribers, but as soon as you have 100 subscribers, then get a custom URL. And also think about, do you want a personal channel or a branded channel? So the branded channel means that you can have a manager running the channel, several managers running the channel. And so, but you could start off with a personal, then switch over to branded. But if you're going to start off, you may as well just go straight and get a branded channel. And then I mentioned about the custom URL. So, and I think, when it comes to choosing a niche, I think the best thing is to find something you're passionate about. So when the going gets tough, then you can still keep going. So you might not get a lot of views, you might not get a lot of comments at the beginning because YouTube is a marathon, and then you can still keep going and commit yourself for at least a year. So you're making a video every week or 2 videos a week, and you keep that up for 12 months, and then you can see, is it really worth it to keep going? And hopefully it is. Okay, second thing is, now you've got your channel set up, you want to create, optimize your channel homepage. So here's my channel homepage, and just some basic things to think about, as I mentioned, was the value proposition. So make a professional channel banner. You can get it done at Fiverr, $5, or you can get it at Upwork.com, or get a friend or a graphic artist to create one for you, or do it yourself in Canva. But think about your value proposition, put it on your banner, maybe mention your upload schedule, and then from there, you want to customize your YouTube channel. So when you customize it, put a channel trailer in there. If you don't, after you've created a few videos, you might add sections to the channel homepage. So when people visit the channel homepage, they can go more deeply into your content. So your channel homepage is really like, it's really like the front page of a website. When people come there, it's going to be, in the first 5 or 10 seconds, you got to grab their attention. So they're going to see the channel banner, channel trailer, your playlists as they go down the channel homepage. And I think the other thing is to add a great description in your about page. So put some the main benefits of your channel, put it in your description on the about page, and then after that you could put a call to action like subscribe to my channel or check out my playlist of videos. So the whole purpose of optimizing the channel homepage, it's going to be the first place that people are going to find you when they when they go to your channel, and even when somebody clicks on your name in a comment, they'll go to your channel homepage. And you can also optimize your channel homepage with keywords. So whatever keywords, say for yoga, you'd put yoga in there, yoga for teenagers, whatever. And so your homepage, your channel page, like a web page, can also be found in the search engines. So try to make it unique, try to make it stand out, have professional graphics on it. And when you do that, you'll increase the potential to gain subscribers and keep people watching successive videos on your channel. Okay, so now you created your channel, you've optimized channel homepage, you want to create searchable content. So searchable content means that it's going to be found in the search engines. So as I mentioned before, you want to think about the problems that people have in your niche. So if your yoga niche, maybe people want to do yoga in the morning, so maybe they have a hard time getting up in the morning, but if you do, maybe you can show them a few stretches in the morning for 5 minutes. You can say the benefit of doing yoga in the morning is that for 5 minutes, then after that you're going to feel alive and ready to tackle the day. So offering solutions, I would highly suggest coming up with 20 or so different content ideas. So the whole point of creating searchable content is going to be found mostly on YouTube, but also it can be found in the Google search engines. And if people find your content, then they're going to solve their problems. You're going to get a lot of traffic. You're going to get more views. You're going to get more subscribers. So on this graphic here, this is a video I did, I can't remember, did probably several years ago, how to improve your stream quality, live stream quality on YouTube. And as you can see, there's 300 million results on Google for that phrase. And this is actually, if you type in how to improve live stream quality on YouTube, it's not a little thumbnail, it's a huge thumbnail at the top of the search engines. So I created this video probably 2 or 3 years ago when I was just getting into live streaming. And as a result, this video is ranking number 1 on Google, I think also on YouTube, out of 300 million results, and it has thousands of views. So it's just an example of something where you do the work once. So I did the work 2 or 3 years ago, And as a result, that video is still producing subscribers, still producing views for my channel. And I have multiple videos like that that contain, that has a large thumbnail at the top of the Google results. So most of my traffic actually comes from Google search results more than the YouTube search results. So that's just one example of why it's great to start a YouTube channel in 2020. Now, when it comes to YouTube keyword research, I highly recommend using a tool like TubeBuddy to speed up the keyword research. So when you even the free Chrome extension of TubeBuddy is great, but if you upgrade to the Pro version or even Legend version where you can split test thumbnails, then you can enter a keyword into the TubeBuddy tool, Keyword Explorer tool, and it'll give you a whole bunch of suggestions. It'll give you a keyword score, and quickly you'll be able to find the probability if you can rank for that particular keyword phrase. And it'll also give you a whole bunch of suggestions. So it'll give you the search volume, it'll give you a keyword score, and it'll also give you suggestions for future videos. So if your video is a great hit, then from the suggestions that gives you, then you can create more videos. So therefore, like I mentioned before, when creating content, come up with 20 video ideas, and so you can do like a deep dive into your topic, and then you can rank for multiple YouTube videos, and you can put those videos, as I mentioned later, into a playlist. And when people visit one video, then they can binge watch several videos in a row, which kind of helps with your watch time. So so definitely use TubeBuddy. And if you don't want to use TubeBuddy, you can just enter your keyword phrase in the YouTube search box, and you'll get a bunch of suggestions of the types of videos that types of questions or types of keyword phrases people are entering to find solutions to the problems. So another free Chrome extension you can use is Keywords Everywhere, which quickly gives you the search volume of that particular keyword phrase that you enter into the search engine. So it'll give you the search volume, and with TubeBuddy you can see, is it too competitive or is it not so competitive? And if you're particularly starting out a new YouTube channel, you want to look for less competitive keyword phrases than competitive keyword phrases, because they're easy to rank, and if they're easy to rank, then you get more search engine traffic. So that's just something about creating searchable content. You can also, if you get a lot of traffic to your YouTube videos, even YouTube will promote your video in the suggested videos, which are the videos that appear on the right side of the watch page. So, so when as I mentioned, when it comes to keyword research, you want to look for those less competitive keyword phrases, and use something like TubeBuddy, Keywords Everywhere, Answer the Public. Another good tool is Morning Fame, or you might use vidIQ as another one. So there's a lot of keyword research tools you can use, but if you want to use something that's free, just enter your search term into the YouTube search box or the Google search box, and you get those keyword suggestions. So now you've got all your content done, and you've created like a video series or a bunch of videos, like 20 video ideas. It's time to create your video. So when it comes to video creation, a lot of people think they need an expensive camera. But when I started YouTube, I think I was started with a iPhone 4S, I think, and a couple of I just used a couple of soft boxes that I bought online for like $100. So just use the gear that you have, whether it's a phone or might be a video camera, and then if you don't have the lights, then shoot outside. Ideally, you want to put your camera on a tripod so it's steady, and then also you want to have a good external mic. Like something that I use is the Rode SmartLav Plus microphone. So like, you just plug it into your camera or you plug it into your phone, and then you can just put it on your shirt. So that's the Rode SmartLav Plus microphone, and it plugs straight into your phone. I think you have to get an adapter to plug it into your camera, but if you get an external microphone, you get much better quality sound. Like today, I'm using a USB microphone that's the Snowball microphone. So, Pintry has a question here. I want to start a separate channel for business apart from my personal channel. Should I use a different dedicated new email? Does it have to be a Gmail email? Well, it has to be Gmail because YouTube, Google's all tied together. So it'll be on your Gmail account, but I think you can add up to 50 channels under a Gmail account. So I would say if you have a personal channel, then you can just create a new channel under your Gmail account, and it could be a branded account. So you can have several personal accounts, several branded accounts. So I would just use that Gmail account, or if you didn't want to use that, just start another Gmail account and put it under there. But it's not necessary. You can just use your current Gmail account. Okay, so we're talking about video creation. So do the best with the gear that you have. The more practice you get, the better you get at it. I used my phone for probably 3 or 4 or more years until I got a camera, standalone camera. So and the phone, like even they came out recently with the iPhone 11, I think, which has like triple cameras on there, wide angle and close angle and high resolution, probably even better than some of the DSLR cameras. So I think it's like $700, which is pretty expensive. But just go with what you got and start producing the videos, because it's going to take time, it's going to take practice to get better and better. And I would highly recommend, if you, instead of just creating one video, think about batch filming several videos. So now you have 20 video ideas. Maybe try to do write 3 or 4 scripts. Spend a day writing 3 or 4 scripts or bullet points, and then set up your studio or go outside, find a place where you can film, and then spend a morning or an afternoon or an evening just batch filming 2, 3, or 4 videos, so you kind of get ahead of yourself. And I think, and I mentioned this later, the main thing you have to do is be consistent. Be consistent for a year, creating a new video every single week, publishing a new video every week. And if you have 3 or 4 videos ready to go, you won't be stressed out looking for new video ideas or thinking, how am I going to shoot the next video? I don't have time. Your family, you got to spend time with your family. You might have to take a vacation. You might get sick. You might lose your voice, because you got a cold. So all, things happen. And if you only got one video, and you're ready to go, to shoot a video, and then you lose your voice, then you're going to miss a whole week. So you want to kind of try to stay ahead of yourself. So those are just some tips on video creation. And after you've done your video creation, the next step is you want to edit your videos. So what video editing software do you guys and girls use for yours? Not many people are using ScreenFlow. You know, I started using ScreenFlow not so long, well, quite a few years ago, but I started with iMovie, and that was pretty good. You know, I started with my phone and the iMovie app on the phone. Then I moved to iMovie on the desktop, and then I moved to ScreenFlow, which is a great video editing app, video editing software for the Mac computer. But you know, if you don't have any video editing software, you can use free editing software like iMovie is free for the Mac. It's free for your phone. DaVinci Resolve is another one. KineMaster app is also free in the App Store or the Google Play Store. LumaFusion is another one. Shotcut is another free software which has a lot of I think DaVinci Resolve, when I looked at it, I thought, wow, that's amazing. It's got so many features for free. And one I used at the beginning for screen capture was Screencast-O-Matic. So you can get a free account, and I think you can record a 15-minute video. So if you did screen capture from your computer, you just sign up for Screencast-O-Matic, and it runs in the browser, and then you can just quickly do a screen capture. And I think there's other browser video editing software out there as well. But you know, those are just some of the free options. But you know, once you get better, you want to upgrade to like Final Cut Pro, Adobe Premiere, Sony Vegas, ScreenFlow, etc. So there's a lot of video editing applications out there. And when it comes to video editing, the more you practice, the faster it goes. And I did a live stream a few weeks ago on video editing, so you could check that out. But one of the big tips for speeding up your video editing is to go in reverse mode. So you've shot your video, then instead of starting your editing at the beginning, you want to start at the end, because you know, if you've done 3 or 4 takes, then if you start at the beginning, you have to go through all those takes. But if you start at the end, you'll come across the last take you did from your camera, and then you can remove all those takes, those practice takes that you did before your last take. So this kind of, instead of spending an hour editing your video, you might whittle it down to like 10 minutes. So that's a great way to kind of speed up your video editing. So Langs is saying that she uses Premiere. So that's Premiere is like, I think it's subscription based, I think, isn't it? So yeah, video editing, just for those people that maybe want to start a new YouTube channel in 2020, just keep in mind that editing is what takes the longest when it comes to video creation. So you might want to outsource it if you have the money. Practice it. You know, get the video editing software that you're very good at or find easy to use. And ScreenFlow is very easy to use. And then just, you know, you get better as you do more videos. Okay, then the next thing is video optimization. So you got your video done, you've edited it, you've uploaded it to YouTube, and I highly recommend when you upload it to YouTube, and YouTube recommends is upload it as unlisted, so you can see if there's any monetization issues, any community guidelines issues, etc. So you could upload it as unlisted, and it won't be available to the public, but it will be available to see if there's any monetization issues, community guideline issues. But at the same time, you can add a comment to the you can pin a comment to the top of your comments, and I also get the video transcribed, so you can transcribe it yourself or send it off to a transcriber like rev.com or gotranscript.com. So you have everything set up, and then when you've optimized your video, finished optimizing your video, then you can upload it. Change the privacy settings to private and schedule your video to go out the next day. So that's pretty much what I used to actually just schedule them all, but now I find, with the new YouTube video, YouTube Studio Beta, and they recommend this, to upload as unlisted, check if there's any issues with your video. But in my case, I kind of pin a comment to the top, get it transcribed, schedule it to go out, and so that doing that doesn't affect any rankings or anything like that, and it kind of saves time. So Rick is saying that hope you're all well. I use VideoPad ATM and I actually enjoy editing my videos. I haven't heard of VideoPad ATM. I have to make a note of that. I also enjoy editing my videos. The only thing is that I tend to get kind of picky. I'll edit the video, then I'll play it again. I think, should I take that out? Should I add that in? Should I add a graphic? So you could spend hours editing a video, and then you kind of get stressed out because you spent like the whole day editing a 3-minute video. So instead of aiming for perfection, think about the phrase "done is better than perfect." So get it done, get it published, and then work on your next video to improve, maybe improve one thing that's for your next video. Oh, sorry. ATM, yeah, at the moment. Okay. Thanks for that clarification, Rick. So, so when it comes to optimization, you want to optimize your title, create a catchy title, maybe put an emotional trigger in there as well, and then optimize your description, put a 3 or 4 line paragraph at the beginning of your video description. And when it comes to optimization, the main ranking factors of YouTube is really the watch time and the click-through rate. So if you have a high click-through rate, if you create a great thumbnail that gets a good click-through rate, then more people are going to click on your thumbnail. So if they don't click on your thumbnail, if they're not attracted to it, or it doesn't stand out from your competitors, then people are not going to click on it and nobody's going to watch your video. So it starts off with a great thumbnail, a great title that reinforces the thumbnail that people saw in the search engines, and then have a great description and then great tags. So YouTube's saying the tags are not as important anymore as the thumbnail and title, but it still put your main keyword phrases in the tags. So, and then you also want to make sure that it's engaging videos. So hook them at the very beginning with a question, or tease them at the beginning of the video saying, I'm going to talk about the 3 main exercises you should do first thing in the morning when you get out of bed to learn yoga. So then you show those exercises at the very beginning of your video, and then you say, well, stay tuned to the end of the video because now I'm going to go through the exact steps on how to do these exercises. So what you've done is you've showed what you're going to show, and then you've told people how you're going to do those exercises. So people can, they're sort of being teased about the content that's coming up. So this is kind of if you watch the news, then a lot of times, you'll see this newscasters doing this, saying, don't go away because we're going to talk about the hurricane that's coming right your way. So then, you stay tuned to through the ads to watch the next program. So so when it comes to optimization, clickable thumbnail, add end screens, add a card, and when it comes to end screens and cards, try to link to a playlist that contains a series of videos. So when people click in the card, they're watching one video, second video, third video, which increases your watch time, and this helps to increase the probability of your video being suggested in YouTube Suggested, which are the videos on the right hand side. So so the longer your watch time, whether they're watching watching your whole video all the way through, or they're watching successive videos, then that helps getting your video ranked in the search engines. And after you've done that, just make sure that you also reply to the comments, because your subscribers probably have questions or they want some acknowledgement. So you want to get that engagement, because YouTube is a social platform that people expect to get their questions answered, or get to engage in conversation in the comments. So you definitely want to do that. And so now that you've got your video published, then you want to promote your video. So when it comes to video promotion, I just thought I'd have this graphic out here, because this is kind of like what goes on in your mind. You want to try to get your content out there to all the social media sites, to your website, to your email list. And so once you've published a video, your work has just begun. So what I typically do is of course, I've uploaded a transcript. So if you haven't transcribed your video, you might want to get a transcript done of your content. And the good thing about getting a transcript done is that you can repurpose that transcript for all your other social media sites. So get it transcribed, add the video to a playlist, create a playlist, and then put your video on the playlist. And each video so you created like a series playlist, like a whole bunch of videos around one topic, put those all into a playlist. You link to the playlist in your cards and end screens, and you can also do that on the social media sites. But when it comes to after you transcribe your video, you can take that transcription and you can create a blog post, embed your video in the blog post, so your videos have a high probability to rank in Google search as well. And then promote your video on social media sites. So this last week, I created a whole bunch of videos on how to promote your video or post your video content, your YouTube content, on Instagram. So you can take your video, your full video, and maybe just remove the calls to action to end screens and cards. Then you can upload the full video to IGTV, from your desktop. And then you can also, so it creates a clickable link for desktop, and they see it on the desktop. And for mobile users, they have to click the little arrow at the top of the screen to watch the full video. Now, alternatively, you can just tell people, you can create a little snippet, and I highly recommend creating like a square video, like a 1 minute square video of your YouTube video. And then you can post it on your Instagram profile, and then tell people at the end of the video to click the link in the bio, or to, you just put a text link on a slide at the end of your video, so then people could check that out. So experiment with IGTV, your profile, maybe Instagram stories, and you can also put have multiple links on Instagram. So I think Instagram kind of works well with YouTube because you can announce a video, you can repurpose the video, or you can put the whole video on Instagram. I think it's up to like 10 or 15 minutes with a mobile phone if you upload it with a mobile phone. And if you upload it from a desktop, you can do a 60-minute video. So that's so bottom line is you want to promote your content across social media sites, on your website. And if you got a transcript, then you can take the transcript and convert it into a PDF file, upload it to document sharing sites. You could be a guest blogger and upload it to contact several bloggers in your niche and ask them if they would like an article to be posted on their blog. And if it's a very popular blog, you can get a lot of traffic to your video from that guest blog post. So that's just some of the ways to repurpose your YouTube content. So after you've uploaded and published your video, think about, every day you could just spend a few minutes, 10 or 15 minutes repurposing, promoting your content in different ways. And after you've done that, you want to look at what videos are getting the most traction. So think about tracking the performance of your videos. So go into YouTube Analytics. So with the YouTube Studio Beta, you can look at your channel analytics, and you can also look at your individual video analytics. So you can look at the traffic sources. So some of the best video analytics is your audience retention, how long people have watched the video, your click-through rate, and also the watch time, how many minutes have people watched. And then if you look at the statistics, like especially the click-through rate, you want to try to boost your click-through rate. So if you can get a high click-through rate on your videos, that means a lot of people seeing your thumbnail and then watching your video. So that impressions, it's called impressions click-through rate. So that means people have seen your thumbnail and then they've clicked on the video. So if you get a high impressions click-through rate, that means a lot of people are seeing your thumbnail and clicking on your video. Then if you get a high audience retention or high watch time, say you get 50 or 60% audience retention, that means people are watching your video at least 50%. So if you can get that up to 60% or 70%, then your videos will begin to take off on your channel. So I highly recommend looking at your tracking the performance of your videos and then try to improve maybe one thing on the next video. So at the last video conference I went to in I think last year in October, I'm getting ready to probably go to this next one, is to make a small tweak. It could be try to increase the watch time, the audience retention on the next video. Try to improve a thumbnail. Try to keep people watching for a longer time. So just one small tweak could make a big difference on the growth of your channel. So if you track the performance, then you can see, if you get one video that really takes off, then create more of those types of videos. So say for instance, how to spend 5 minutes a morning doing yoga exercise. Maybe that video takes off. So the next video you do how you can quickly get up in the morning with these yoga stretches. So maybe create like 10 videos on the similar topic of the video that took off, and then all those videos might get a lot of traffic, good rankings, and then so you're capitalizing on the videos that you've tracked and seen high performing videos in your YouTube analytics. And if you get the free Chrome extension vidIQ, then it has you have the ability to do what's called a channel audit, and it'll show you the first, I think the top 2 or 3 videos on your channel that are getting the most traction. So you just do one click on your channel audit, and it'll show you those top videos, and then you can just quickly create more of those type of videos. And if you do that, then your channel will grow pretty rapidly. Okay, so I got some important things to keep in mind when it comes to starting a YouTube channel in 2020, or maybe starting a second channel, or you're thinking about starting a new YouTube channel right away. But some things to keep in mind is that your first videos are probably going to suck. So if I look at my first video, then I kind of cringe when I look at that, because I'm kind of reading from a script, speaking in a monotone voice. So a lot of things wrong with it. So your first few videos are going to suck, but the important thing is to make a commitment, have a goal for your YouTube channel, like spend at least a year creating videos, try and improve on each video, and upload on a regular basis. And I think all the years that I did creating videos and growing my channels to be consistent. So consistently, if you can do it once a week, then do that. If you can upload 2 videos a week, do that. Even try live streaming. If you don't have time to edit, then try live streaming, because you don't have to spend hours and hours editing the video. So in that case, you could do 1 regular video and 1 live stream video. Another big thing is don't compare yourself with other people in your niche. So it's very easy to see other people that are getting millions of views or thousands of views, and you think, oh, maybe I should pack it in. But if you're just starting a YouTube channel, then you can't compare the beginning with someone who's already been doing it for several years. That you're just not going to get up to the same speed in such a short amount of time. So some do, some people, they have a one-hit wonder and their video goes viral, but the high probability is that your video is not going to go viral. So then, focus on being the best version of yourself, creating the best video, and don't compare yourself with other people in your niche. So another point is to be patient. YouTube is a marathon. It's not a sprint. So you have to have a long-term commitment for it. Think about getting feedback. I've got a Facebook group if you're not familiar with it, but maybe Harley can put that in the chat if you can. You're welcome to join the Facebook group, get feedback on your thumbnails, ask questions, interact with other members. And sometimes when you're involved in the video creation process, then it's kind of hard to be objective. You kind of fall in love with your videos and you think you did a great job, but they don't get much traction. So get some other eyes on your videos or on your thumbnail, or ask some questions, and then you can improve. So looking for positive feedback. And don't be afraid if somebody says, or don't be offended if somebody says, hey, your thumbnail really sucks. So you might kind of cringe, but it might be the truth. So just take it and just try to improve. And then look at you can look at some of the resources. You can check out the channels, check out the videos on my channel for how to start a YouTube channel, how to grow a YouTube channel, how to do keyword research, how to do a channel, how to create a channel banner, how to create your thumbnails, how to read or navigate the YouTube analytics, how to promote your videos. And YouTube has a great resource, the Creator Academy. So that's also a great resource that YouTube has. So it has all tons of articles in there as well. So check that out. So I got a question here from Rick saying I was advised to fix my Instagram and Facebook link on my channel art, which I've done, but now here on YouTube doesn't take too kindly to that, as you may be driving views away from YouTube. Yeah, actually, the big thing is, like, all the social media platforms want you to stay on their platform and not go somewhere else. So particularly with YouTube, they want you, a big ranking factor is the watch time. So the longer somebody stays watching your video or watching successive videos, the better for your channel. So if you put social media links on your channel banner, on your video, then you're encouraging people to leave YouTube. And say you wanted to link to Twitter or Facebook, etc. So I would highly recommend don't put them in your channel banner, don't put them on the video, don't link to them from cards or end screens, and don't tell people to go to Instagram or something like that from your YouTube video, but put them into your description, maybe in the further towards the bottom of your description. Or you can devote one video to checking out your social media sites. But I would recommend not telling people to go to your social media sites in your videos, because YouTube wants to keep people watching as long as possible. I said, in spite of my early videos are full of cringe moments, they still have got many views over the years. Yeah, that's a funny thing about, sometimes you do a really cringy video, and I've done quite a few at the beginning, but the lighting was wrong, the sound wasn't any good, but they got a lot of views. So sometimes the content, and like say for instance you got trying to think of an example. Maybe you got some trouble with your knee and you're in pain. So then you find a video that talks very clearly about how to heal the pain in your knee, and it's the sound is not the sound is not good, the lighting's not good, but the content is golden, and it's going to solve your knee pain. So I would take that video over someone that has a super professional video, professional sound and camera, lighting, etc., and the content is very thin. So yeah, you never know that some videos can really take off that maybe you've just done on a very low budget. Okay, trying to think, looking. Oh, and a big thing to avoid, and this keeps happening if you look at the comments, people asking sub for sub. So you'll get a person saying, I subscribe to your channel from 10 of my channels, so make sure you subscribe to my channel. So that's against the rules on YouTube, and generally those people might have might have 10 channels, which they're not going to keep up with those channels. And so I remove those comments, or maybe if a person is completely new, I'll just send them to a playlist on how to grow your channel. So you can remove them, or in my case, I just set them to a playlist, and then sometimes people reply back saying, oh, thanks very much for sending me a series of videos on how to grow my channel, because they're just so desperate to get subscribers to their channel. So those are just some tips. So if you have any questions on how to start a YouTube channel, how to grow a YouTube channel, put them in the chat. Or if you can't think of them right now, then put them in the comments, and I'll be sure to reply to them. Or if you're in the Facebook group, then put that question in the Facebook group. But I think if I look back on when I first started my channel, then I really didn't know what I was doing. I didn't really upload regularly on a regular basis. I didn't have the lighting right. I used an external mic on my phone, but I didn't realize till I switched over to the Rode SmartLav Plus microphone how terrible the sound from the mic was. And I was thinking it's really great. Nobody ever told me that the sound wasn't very good. So that's why it's always good to get feedback from others, because you kind of fall in love with your own sound, lighting, etc. You might think your backdrop is good. When I first started my live streams, I was live streaming from a blank wall, and if I look back at those first live streams, I kind of cringe because it just looks so plain. So getting feedback, and just keep in mind, your first few videos are going to be not perfect, but it's better to get them done and published than trying to get them perfect. But just improve something in each video as you go forward, and you'll get better and better and better. So those are probably the main tips. And most of all, just be consistent. Even if and that's the beauty about batch filming or batch scripting your videos, that try to get ahead of yourself so you don't get stressed out when it comes to creating your next video. So because if you kind of force yourself to be creative, because you're staring at a blank screen, I got to create the next video, that'll show up in your video. You'll get that stressed out look. So the whole purpose of being on YouTube, you got to have fun, you got to enjoy it, follow your passion, and then it'll be easier to create and produce your videos. So thanks everybody for attending today's live stream. And if you're watching the replay, put your questions in the comments. Give this video a like. And if you have any future suggestions for future live streams, put that in the comments. And I hope you have a great weekend, a great day, and we'll see you next time. Take care.